have your stay safe at home habits been healthy? Of course, if you're an essential worker, have your stay safe at work habits been healthy? I'm having a lot of people tell me that they've gained a few extra kilos over the past couple of months. As restrictions start to ease and some people are starting to go back to work, starting to resume normal life, I'm having lots of people telling me they need to get back on track with their wellness or weight loss goals. And if that's you, I want to help you do that. In this video, I'm going to share my ideas about how to get back to basics, and I'm going to share my version of those basics. I'm going to share the basic habits that have been the most effective for me and for my clients. And I'm going to offer you the idea of how you can customize those to your life. How can you make it realistic so that you too can have the healthy life you want? If you don't know me, why am I qualified to answer that and do that for you? Hi, I'm Brian. I'm a life coach and a wellness coach, and I transformed my relationship with myself back in 2006. And when I did that, and I changed my fundamental habits, I lost 50 kilos, and I've maintained that 50 kilo weight loss ever since, including throughout the disruption that's been going on over the last few months, including in the response to COVID-19. Now, it's my mission to help people like you transform your thinking, change your habits from the ones that have created weight gain, that are leading you down an unhealthy lifestyle path, back to healthy habits. I want to help you live more of your life at goal. I want to help you not only reach it, but sustain it. You can check out more of my work over at livemorelife.com.au, where you can also grab my 10 secrets to long-term weight loss. You can also grab the worksheet for today's video. I have listed the 20 basic habits, most of which I'll be covering in this video. Also some worksheets for you to help you discover your default habits, what you have been doing, and to set yourself up for success with the healthy habits you want to be doing. So grab that worksheet. The link is in the description. Now, of course, these couple of months have been quite disruptive for most people. It's had almost all of us out of normal routines. And I love challenges and disruption in our life. Not that we wish it on anyone or that we want to have it, but when it comes, I believe it does reveal to us what our default behaviors are. These are our basics. They're the things that we revert to, the things that we go to on sort of automatic pilot. And so before I get into my basics of healthy living, I really want you to stop and consider. And of course, if you've got the worksheet, this is the first page, is to take note, make a list of your current basics. What have you been doing over the last couple of months? I talked to so many people, even when the restrictions and social distancing, etc., first started, had so many people going, oh, I'll just wait it out. I'll just, I'll wait till it all blows over, it all comes down and goes back to normal. But in the meantime, it's been 3.5, almost 4 months. They've started to bring in some unhealthy habits, that extra glass of wine or two, just grabbing whatever, more time spent on the couch, more boredom eating, more worry eating, more frustration eating. So what have you been doing? 3 months is actually a good time frame for training in a new habit. So it's worth paying attention to what you have been doing and asking, well, are these habits that I've been practicing over the last few weeks, months, actually moving me towards my goals, towards the results and the life I want, or away from it? And I always encourage you to write these things down and to actually ask those questions and answer it, because when we generate awareness, then we can make a conscious decision. You can choose now, well, which one of these habits or how many of these habits do I want to keep? And which, if any of them, do I want to change? So I really encourage you, if you're watching on replay, maybe pause the video, do this, do that download now. What are your current habits? Really have a look at what's been sneaking in. What have you just become normal now? Do you want to keep them? Well, I promised in this video that I'd share the habits that are working best for me and for my clients. You know, I said earlier that I've maintained my 50 kilo weight loss for 12 and a half years now, including during this time. For me, if anything, I feel like I've picked up a couple of extra healthy habits during this time. I've made progress on other goals that I wanted to achieve. Meanwhile, I have not let any of my healthy habits go. So what are the basics of living a healthy life? And the one that I think is the most important is actually awareness, is actually paying attention to what you are actually doing. Not what you think you're doing or what you intend to be doing, what you are actually doing. That's why I'm a big fan of writing things down, noticing our thoughts, being present in the moment. And the reason is when we train in a habit, you know, a habit is just a decision, a choice that we made, and that we've made again and again and again and again. After a little while, it becomes unconscious. Our brain wires it in and then moves it out of our conscious thinking into our unconscious thinking. That's all a habit is. It's just choices that we've repeated enough times to become automatic. The brain has learned the pattern and it just runs the whole program, the whole series of behaviors, really without thinking. So in order to change any habit or to train in a new habit, we have to get very conscious about what we actually have been doing. So I always think awareness first. Pay attention. How many extra glasses of wine? How often? How much extra eating? What healthy habits, if you had them previously, have drifted away? Have you stopped doing? You know, lots of people have said to me like, well, the gym was closed. I couldn't do my exercise. Okay. You can do body weight exercises in your lounge room. Do it on the floor in the bedroom. You can still walk around your house. You still can be able to get out. So watch out for the excuses that your brain has been making, that it's all too hard and it's been letting things go. So awareness is always first, because then we can make a conscious choice about what to do next. Habit number 2, deciding in advance. Actually decide what food you're going to eat, what food you're not going to eat, what you will drink, what you won't drink. Decide how you will move, how you won't move. Decide it in advance. And the reason I like this is because when we're deciding ahead of time, we're using the cognitive part of our brain, our prefrontal cortex. We're using the thinking part, the evolved part. And if you take some time to do some planning, you're often doing that in a calmer space, you've made some time, etc. So you're not caught up in the moment. Now, this investment in time pays back always when it comes to the moment, right? We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to spend time debating with ourselves. We've planned. And if you've prepared, you also set yourself up for success. That's another habit, by the way. You've set up your environment. You've got your meals or your ingredients ready ahead of time, so you have what you need, where you need, when you need it. For me, it's one of the reasons why I always carry emergency snacks with me. I prepare my meals ahead of time for when I know I'm going to be busy or tired or stressed, or when it might not be convenient. Make sure I'm already set up, ready to go. It's why if I do have to get takeaway, I know my best options that I can have in a healthy balance that are still going to work with my overall goals. And while we're on planning, make sure that you don't get into diet mode. You don't think about I have to be perfect all the time, or I have to only have healthy things. I can't have an indulgence or a treat. I can't have food I enjoy. That's so not true. You should never be feeling like you're missing out or you're being restrictive, because you won't stick to that. The way we lose, the way we look after ourselves has to be something that's ongoing for the rest of our lives. So make sure you have food in there that you enjoy, that you anticipate having, that you're looking forward to. In fact, I always plan in something I'm looking forward to, something new or exciting or that feels a bit special, so that I can be looking forward to it. When we've got that, our brain can go, oh, well, I don't need this now. I'm having that later. I'm looking forward to that, and I'd rather that instead when I'm having things in a healthy balance, right? When we don't have that, when we haven't planned anything in, when we just get stuck in the same old, we tend to get bored. And then all of the other things become tempting, and we just feel like we have no willpower, or there's too much temptation around, or it's just the environment. But really, it's just the fact that we failed to plan for our brain's desire for novelty, for excitement, for newness. And to recognize that food and drink are a source of pleasure as well as a source of nourishment in our lives. So make sure you still include some of that, right? Plan in indulgences, but don't just have them in reaction in the moment. Those are the automatic habits that we've already been practicing, usually the ones that lead to overeating or to binging or to making poor choices that lead away from our health, that aren't in a healthy balance. So make those decisions in advance. Decide what you will, what you won't have, so that you can check. You don't have to be responding in the moment. I already mentioned setting up for success. And I mentioned nourishing our bodies, eating for nutrition as well as for pleasure. So it is important to check. Am I meeting my body's nutritional requirements? Am I getting all of the nutrients that I need to be healthy, to be living in a healthy balance? Well, if you plan for it, you can check. It's also, remember then, important to listen to your hunger signals, to eat when you're hungry. Earlier, I mentioned eating for boredom or for stress or, for avoidance. Many of you have talked to me about eating your emotions over this time. So one of the ways to move towards healthy is to really recognize when we're doing that, and instead to be able to tune into our body, to listen to those hunger signals and know when we're hungry and knowing how to respond appropriately. One of the healthy habits is eating nutritious food when you're hungry, and then listening to your hunger signals and stopping when you're satisfied. Not full, just satisfied, when you're no longer hungry. Now, of course, to do that, you need some other skills: slowing down, eating mindfully, learning how to tune in. And if that's a complete mystery for you, you don't know how to do it, go check out video number 27. It's from July 2019 on my blog at livemorelife.com.au/videos. Go check out video number 27. It's about how to listen to your hunger signals. Tune in. In so many ways, if we plan ahead, treats and indulgences, we have something to anticipate, we're looking forward to, we're going to meet our good health guidelines, we've got our nourishment, and we're listening to our body, then effectively we've eliminated overeating. And for most people, that will do 90% of moving towards their healthy weight, to their good health goals. It's going to do so much of the work. Of course, we do also have to move our body regularly. We have to minimize sedentary time. Watch out for how much time we're spending in front of the computer, on the couch, in front of Netflix, on our phone. We have to get our body moving regularly throughout the day. It's not enough to just do big blocks of exercise. We want at least sort of 5 minutes in every hour moving around. Now, you can also do a block of exercise. Fantastic, that's awesome. But it's moving regularly throughout the day that's really important. The next habit, staying hydrated. I did this a couple of videos ago, but making sure that you are staying hydrated again regularly throughout the day. It's not the case where you want to get to the end of the day and go, oh, I haven't had enough to drink, I'm going to drink 2 liters. No, your body needed that hydration, that needed that fluid throughout the day. And of course, mostly water. So stay hydrated. The next basic. Remember to breathe. Consciously create space in your life to slow down the pace of our life, to step out of the chaos, the drama, the thinking, and just be present with yourself. It's one of the effective means of lowering our stress hormone, cortisol. So finding ways to effectively and to practice managing stress in a healthy way is also really important. So what techniques are you using? Can you take a moment just to breathe? And by the way, if you're a person who needs to problem solve, needs creative solutions, you're a creator, giving your brain relaxed thinking space, it's very important for our creativity as well. It gives it the time to make connections between disperse and diffuse ideas in your mind, rather than always trying to force it and always trying to be on. So many of you and so many of us find that when we're trying to be on all day, it's go, 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 make decision, make decision, make decision, deal with this trauma, put out that fire, again and again and again, that we're mentally exhausted by the end of the day. You may find it much more effective to switch between deliberate, focused thinking with relaxed, diffuse thinking, and back to deliberate, focused thinking, back to diffuse, focused thinking. You might be familiar with the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes of focused thinking, followed by 5 minutes of relaxed, diffuse thinking. Repeat throughout your day. Much more productive than going hard all the time. And just like learning that new technique, if it was new for you, staying in a learning and growth mindset is also one of the healthy habits. To remember that having or not having these habits is not anything to do with our innate ability, our characteristics as a person, our worthiness. We're not a good or a bad person for having habits. We've learned them, we've trained them, we are skilled. So remember that success or failure is not about the result. It's about the process, the effort, the strategies that you applied. What did I try? What worked? What could I do next? What might I do differently? What else could I try? So staying in a growth mindset. You know, I see so many people have a fail, you know, they had a good intention and they made a poor choice, they didn't follow through, or they tried something and it didn't work for them. And then they give up because they feel like, oh, I'm just not good enough, I can't do it. No. That's the fixed mindset. It's not a talent you have or don't. It's, is it a skill that I have done the work to learn, to train in? And if not, can I apply more effort or can I try a different strategy? So staying in a learning and growth mindset. Of course, it's also important to stay connected to and revisit regularly your purpose. Why do you want to live a healthy life? Why do you want to have a healthy lifestyle? Why does that matter to you? And in fact, I feel like that's an important one to check daily. It's a good habit to write down. What is the commitment I'm making to myself today? What is the intention I'm setting? Why do I want to do those things today? We stay connected to our purpose in life. The next habit is maybe not a habit as much as a reminder, but it's this idea of constant iteration. Leading on from everything I've just said, I believe that mastery is a discipline, right? I've said before, it's a constant discipline. It's not a destination to which we arrive. Mastery is a constant discipline, not a destination. See that mistake so often. People will try some techniques, they might follow a diet, they might make some healthy changes for a while, and then they get to the result they want. They get to a healthy weight or a certain level of fitness. They're like, great, I've done it. You know, they've competed in the 10K fun run or the half marathon, or they've had the amazing photo at the wedding. And then if they don't keep practicing, they revert. Have you done that? Mastery is a constant practice. We have to keep doing the skills. They have to be sustainable. That's why I'm always looking at small, easy change. All of this, of course, is about making your self-care a priority, which is also one of the basic habits for success. I see so many clients go, but I have to put everyone else's needs first. I always have to come last. And yet, when you do that, you actually deprive them of the best version of you. You deprive them of the energy, the positivity, the fortitude, and the inspiration that you could provide. You give them a worse version of you. And yet, every time I help a client switch to putting their needs first, and they realize that they can, that everything else either doesn't have to get done, or if it is important, it actually still gets done, but it gets done from a place of being loving and generous and giving, of having the capacity, instead of draining ourselves, instead of resenting it, instead of doing it despite ourselves. It always improves. Everyone's always amazed. It's like, oh, I still get everything done that was important. Or I realized some of the things that I was always doing actually weren't important. They were opportunities for other people to do things too. It always works better. So don't think you can't do it. I've seen it happen so many times. All right. Finally, I want to try and keep this video a bit shorter. So my last key point here, and the last basic that I think is just so important, and try and bring it to every situation, is to think and act with love. Practice kindness and compassion rather than criticism, judgment, particularly when it relates to ourselves. Create the habit of thinking and acting with and from love. Always works better. Now, I've listed a whole heap of basics here. Maybe it sounds like a lot. Maybe it's a long list. There are 20 in the worksheet, and maybe you even have some of your others that you do as well. Don't let yourself be overwhelmed. Don't think that you have to do all of them at once. So many of my clients find that just by starting on one of these habits, many of the others start to naturally evolve. Often we'll end up doing them all without even really noticing. But you do have to start somewhere. And I want to remind you that every time you act, you are reinforcing a habit, either one you want, that you've chosen deliberately, or one that you don't want, that's leading you away from your goals. You're going to be practicing a great many habits throughout any given day. So my advice is check out the list that I've learned. Maybe write out your own list of habits and check out which ones you want to keep, which ones you want to change. And then look if there's any on this list that you don't yet have, that you aren't practicing. And then just choose one from that list, or choose one of your own that you want to improve today. Now, if that feels hard still, I've actually included the worksheet from a page from the worksheets from last week's video. It's the Make It Easy page. If you need more help with breaking it down, making it more simple, make sure you go and watch video number 75, Making It Easier. That will give you some help with breaking down those healthy habits. Make sure it's easy. Make sure you break it down into smaller, doable steps. It's got to be realistic in your life. And then, you know, just do one thing. Like even I talked about meeting good health guidelines and meeting your body's nutrition. Okay, maybe you don't do all of that at once. Maybe you just want to add more vegetables to your day. So can you plan them in? Can you put them on your shopping list? Can you buy them ahead of time and have them ready so you can just add them to one extra meal or snack? You know, maybe afternoon tea becomes some carrot sticks. Maybe you put some extra broccoli in with dinner. You know, maybe you just work on making one small change to one habit to start with. all of our best learning and growth comes in stages. We build on our prior learning, both the successes and the failures. And so remember that as long as you try, you're actively practicing a change, there are no bad outcomes. Pay attention. Notice what works, notice what doesn't, and then iterate. Make a new decision, plan for the change, and test it out. Pay attention, have compassion and understanding, and repeat. Start the shift, and you'll discover that you'll start to gain momentum. I've sometimes heard habit change talked about like a boulder on a mountain. Sometimes you've got to get it in the right direction. You've got to spend a lot of effort pushing it just to get it starting to roll. But once it starts, it can continue on its own. That's what we want in our journey to a healthy life. Just got to get that little bit of effort in there to get started. So have a think about, what are the basics that you want? What do you want to be the foundation of your healthy life? You know, if I had to ask you to get back to basics today, what would change for you? What current habits would you keep? Which ones would you change? And seriously, make a list of those. Don't just keep it in your head. Actually write them out and keep that list somewhere where you can refer to it. It's in the worksheet if you want it. It's your work in progress. And don't forget to acknowledge your efforts, right? Note when the new habit has in fact become default, that you're actually just doing it. So on that Make It Easy page, there's a 1 month tracker for a habit. You can just check off every day that you're doing it. And then on the master list, tick off when actually you now have this as an automatic daily habit. Remember, to get there, all you have to do is practice it enough times. Stay conscious, keep practicing. So tick them off. Acknowledging your success will help you see your momentum, and it will encourage you to do more, right? Success breeds more success. It breeds more motivation. And if you don't get one right, just pay attention to what worked, what didn't, and think about what can I do differently. We just recommit to our goals, reconnect to your purpose, and move forward. All right, well, I'm hoping that list is useful for you. I'm hoping maybe you rewatch this video, you download the worksheet, and you actually do the work to go, well, what habits do I have currently? Am I doing all of these? What other ones do I have? What am I doing that's not helping? Let's pick one thing to change at a time. Of course, if you need more help retraining any of those unhealthy habits, or even just identifying the basics that are or aren't helping you, then let's have a conversation. Head to livemorelife.com.au and request a free consultation. You know, I love talking habits. I love helping people create sustainable changes, you know, coming up with changes that they can actually do and keep. So why not draw on my experience of helping people adjust their habits? You really can have the life and the result you want. And if you're not on track, there's no time like today to get on track. You can start now. So if this has been helpful for you, please give me a like, give me a heart, give me a reaction. If you're watching on YouTube or on my video blog, make sure you subscribe to get notified of every new video. And of course, if you know someone who could hear this message, they've been talking about needing to get back on track or having unhealthy habits, please comment, tag them in the comments below, or send them the link to this video so that they can get the help too. I want to help as many people as possible. For now, let me know in the comments, what is one basic habit that you will start or change this week? I'd love to know. Let me know. Have an amazing day and enjoy your journey back to health.